Hello YouTube, today we are reacting to a Hero Hey video called Japan Just Destroyed the Modern Audience. Now, I'm pretty sure I know what this is about. I've heard about, like, Sakurai, the creator of Kirby, and Smash Brothers being based, basically. Anyway, let's start the video.
So this is pretty based. Check it out. Automaton writes about Super Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai, essentially telling Japanese devs to make games for Japanese people and to stop trying to cater to the West.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is something we're probably all familiar with, that being how many Japanese companies / Japanese devs started catering to the West and
for some fucking reason.
Companies as well to try and appeal to Western audiences.
Probably
and in doing
investors.
so, they actively make their games worse.
That's
For
my
example,
theory.
Literally hiring localizers who go out of their way to change things that they find offensive, in their opinion, about the original intellectual property. But I'm sure you all know a lot about that already, so let's just focus on what Sakurai has to say here, shall we? Back at Automaton, they write, in recognition of his extensive Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games YouTube channel, Super Smash Bros. And Kirby creator Masahiro Sakurai was recently awarded the Art Encouragement Prize from the Japanese government's Agency for Cultural Affairs. On March 11th, he attended the awards ceremony and gave an exclusive interview to NTAX, in which he shared personal views about the future of Japan's game industry. When asked what he thinks the domestic game industry should be doing to keep growing, to keep pace with the booming success seen in countries like China, Sakurai comments, "It's not really my own idea, but as an industry trend, I think Japanese people should keep pursuing the things that Japanese people like." He goes on to explain that the success of various Japanese games in the US kicked off a trend of making Americanized works. Or Sakurai, you could say that
I hate it when they do that, to be honest.
By de facto standards,
I'll go into it after.
Practices that get adopted as widespread norms by the industry as an outcome of market competition. However, Sakurai feels the people overseas who love Japanese games aren't looking for this kind of filtered experience, but rather, I think they see the fun of Japanese games. Hence the opinion that there's no need for Japanese developers to consciously adapt their work for audiences in the US or elsewhere. Yeah, I completely agree with that. As I mentioned in various
completely
videos,
agree.
It's just bizarre that Japan would willingly give up their own competitive advantage in this market to try and be like, oh yeah, let's westernize our games, when that's not even what made them successful here in the West to begin with. So yeah, I definitely think Sakurai has the right idea. Automaton closes with this. He concludes on a general note, commenting, "In other words, I think that the ideal would be to make games the way you like. As
exactly.
With you,
just make something.
Sakurai adds
don't let people force you to change things.
Do things freely, without letting others' ideas be forced on them. He emphasizes, however, that his opinion is just one way of thinking about the topic." Yeah, not much more for me to say on this one. I already mentioned that I think he's speaking facts. But it is really funny that we see some Japanese companies, like, somewhat recently, and I say somewhat recently because it's been going on for a number of years now, but Square Enix, for example, westernizing their games more and more, and then having financial issues. Yeah, I wonder why. Even just the last number of months, headlines like
Square Enix was one of my favorite
losses. Square Enix
video game companies.
Q3 2024, and in 2025, Square Enix has reported a decline in revenue. Anyways, let me know what you think about all this.
Look, it's Haruko from Fooly Cooly.
Consider liking and or subscribing if you enjoyed the coverage, and I'll see you in the next one.
Anyway. But yeah, Twitter hated Sakurai because he spoke the truth. Hold on, let me get some music playing. Oh, okay, rain. But yeah, so the thing is, I hate it when Japanese companies decide that they want to Americanize their games. That's not what made Japanese games popular in the West. Japanese games got popular in the West because, like, you could be a dick and just say, oh, because you're the fucking weebs. Nah. A lot of times they were popular because they were weird and unique. They were just so different than like American video game developers fucking games, which I'm not saying America makes terrible games. They make okay, like we have some good games, but unless it's like the slop where they're pandering to the modern audience, that's like one reason why I don't play much American games anymore. I'm gonna be real with you. But the reason why, like, when I got into like Japanese video games, like, I used to be a big fan of Square Enix. like back in the day. First game I played. Okay, and you know what? I'm not sure which Final Fantasy was the first Square Enix game I played. It was either 7 or 8. Because I remember I visited, like, relatives and they had a PlayStation 1 and I played a demo disc that had Final Fantasy 8 on it. Yeah, it might have been that one. Yeah, it was Final Fantasy 8 demo disc because, like, a relative... one of these days I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 8 again. I know that's the one people like to shit on, but anyway, it was just so, like, when I first played that demo disc, it was just so much different than all the other games because, I don't know. Maybe it was the art style, maybe it was because I didn't play that much RPGs during that time, I don't know. And then after that, I just got into more Japanese RPGs. Mainly because the West didn't make that much of note. Like, there were like super old ones, keep in mind, and then there was like Bethesda's games, but well, was Bethesda even? What games did I think they made Morrowind? Oh well, I didn't play Morrowind. Mostly because I played on console at the time, but yeah. The reason why I liked Japanese games so much was they were fucking different and unique, weird even. It just pains me to hear that, oh yeah, Square Enix went full on, I'm going to appeal to the Western audience, aka the modern audience, and look at where it got them. They're like, I don't know, are they bankrupt or something? Like, they're not doing good financially. Which might lead to them selling off all their fucking IPs, which... Well, no. We thought that about Konami. Oh god, I remember I used to like Konami. Oh, Metal Gear. And then they fucked up their own company, but that's a whole different can of worms. But you want to know an example of when a AAA company started to pander to the Western... They tried to Americanize everything? Y'all remember Devil May Cry? Remember that reboot? That shitty reboot that came out after Devil May Cry 4? And that all happened because someone convinced the creator of Devil May Cry that he didn't sell enough copies and he needs to westernize Devil May Cry. And then when it came out, people hated that game. They hated it. They hated the dev because the dev was an asshole at the time. I heard he's calmed down now and he makes okay games, but like it fucking sucks. By the way, I might play the Devil May Cry reboot just to show y'all it. It's not Devil May Cry. Like, it could have been any other game but Devil May Cry. And then I hate the design for Dante. That's not Dante in my opinion. That's Dante. And yeah, like we got that. We got when Resident Evil went all action to appeal to the Western audience because of Call of Duty. They really thought Call of Duty was the way to go. And then let's not forget there was like recently a JRPG game. They tried to have like an English dub for it and it was fucking horrible. Like, I forgot what the name of the series was. It was Trails of something. I don't know. It was a big RPG series. Like, I don't know how many games are in that series, but I've always seen a lot of them. And basically, there was like a dialogue where the character says to, I think, the player character, oh, I wasn't sure if you were a man or a woman or something like that. They changed it to, in the English dub, the character that says that to the player character, oh, I just want to know what your pronouns are. Like, what the fuck? That's like... And then they added more cringy shit because they added weird slang, like, instead of saying charisma, because a party member, I think, in one cutscene, she was talking about raising her charisma or something. Instead, they made her say, "Oh, too bad I have no riz," or something like that. Like some stupid fucking shit. They used the word riz because American slang. And I'm not a fan of that game series, but they pissed off the fan base, and then there's like the retarded half. Well, it's not, I wouldn't even say half, it's just loud, 5 loud people that are retarded on Twitter that tried to defend it, and it was fucking stupid. Again, they're trying to, another example of hiring, like, I don't know. Again, they were trying to appeal to the West with that dub, and it failed miserably because I think people... They either try to mod it to have Japanese, or there's a Japanese option. I don't know. Then another case of this that I recall happened. Y'all ever hear of that game that was a crossover of Shin Megami Tensai and Fire Emblem? Yeah, you know, it was like Persona, kind of. Yeah, so that game got censored in the Western version. And then it was on Wii, I believe. Yeah, it got censored. There's no fan service costumes. And then they censored other stuff. I don't know. But, the Switch version has some of the stuff that was cut, but it doesn't have the fan service costumes, from what I hear. Because, you know, we gotta appeal to that audience. The modern American audience, which is like 5 people that actually think like that. Like, for real, like, they're literally appealing to snowflakes on Twitter or Blue Sky or wherever the fuck they complain on. Probably also Redditors. Redditor snowflakes, I don't know. And, they think that they speak for everyone, which they don't. Instead of being, you know, like creative and unique, you're gonna do what you're just gonna try to Americanize it. I don't like that. That's not what made Japanese games popular in the West. Again, it was because they were different, they were unique, they were weird, they were fun. Sorry, this is like a little rant I'm going on. But, yeah. I just find it annoying when that happens. Like, a dev thinks they have to Americanize stuff. One of my theories is maybe it's a board. There's a board and there's like fucking investors that are fucking everything up. Because, you know, a lot of times there's investors that are so out of touch with the world or any industry that they invest their money in, like video games especially. Like, fucking look at Sony. PS2 era, I liked Sony. PS3, they're not terrible, but I have my problems. And now PS4, and then present PS5. The decisions like them censoring Japanese games, trying to hide them in the store, doing bullshit like that. Anyway, I think I might end it right here. I hope Sakurai saying this gets that into gets it into the heads of the other people to don't even try to appeal to the weirdos that would get offended by everything. That's all I gotta say. That's my opinion. Personally, that's my opinion. Like, you don't have to appeal to anyone. Just make stuff that you want, you like. If you're a Japanese company making a Japanese video game, don't Americanize it. That's like, That's like what draws the American audience away, except for the few snowflakes that are probably would just buy it because they know everyone else doesn't like it. Ooh, we're gonna be a hipster. And and also while getting offended on fucking Twitter about this hot anime chick with huge tits. Anyway, sorry. Pardon my language. Or not. Regardless, go fuck yourself if you're offended by that comment. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.